This is iHeart Communities. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. Well, it is the 25th anniversary of the Golden Scissors Awards. We're talking hair legacy, people, being held here in St. Louis for the very first time, but it is a national major phenomenon. And I am joined by the founder, the executive director, the creative genius, Glenn Jackson is with me today. Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Jade. I'm excited to be here. Just being in your midst is like exciting to me.
You just raised my level by like 40.
Yes, got to, though.
Oh, my gosh,
You're
Glenn.
Just so transferable. Your energy is so transferable, and that's priceless.
Man, I've always appreciated that about you. So please, for those new who don't know, the people in St. Louis who don't realize what's coming, let's talk about the Golden Scissors Awards.
Well, for the last 26 years, it's been my labor of love.
Yeah.
You know, a woman's crown is her glory. And I knew early in this journey that women in their hair made a statement. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to provide a platform for African-American stylists and barbers to roll out the red carpet because they make the world beautiful. So to get them from behind the chair and put them in front of the camera and give them their due recognition. Right. And that's what we'll be doing in St. Louis.
I absolutely love the name Golden Scissors. That's so fresh.
And it's so funny you said that because people ask me, well, Glenn, how did you come up with the Golden Scissors? Well, I hosted a hair show many years ago, and it was like the worst hair show ever. I was in the Navy, and I thought I was going to get put out. I said, you know, you're going to lose your top secret clearance today. And so I said, I should come up with a show to like honor stylists. But it can't be any show, and I need to give out awards. Yeah. And back then, it was scissors, but we know now it's shears.
Shears, yeah.
And so when I said, but it couldn't be any scissors, they had to be gold.
They had to be the standard, what we strive for, what we're looking for. Well, give us a little bit of background about you. How did you even come to be excited about and care about great hair, great stylists, great expression that we've come to know you for your brand?
Well, my journey started in the United States Navy. I created a show called what we would call Search for the Stars. But back in those days, that show was called Stars and Stripes because it was a military show. And everybody used to call me the Black Bob Hope, you know? So I was like, wow. And here I am. And back in that time, everybody was wearing their MC Hammer pants and they were doing hammer time.
That's right.
And everything was a lip sync.
Can't touch it.
Yeah, so when I started the hair show, I was actually on active duty in the United States Navy. Never in a million years would think that I could create something that would be global and international. 7 television shows later on television, companies taking and knocking off my show and trying to make it their own. And, you know, the best form of flattery, I guess, is imitation. But I'm still here.
Still going.
And I'm just so grateful and thankful. I have a community partner, which has been Shea Moisture. And we started this community journey in Houston during Hurricane Harvey. It was an opportunity for us to give back to the community. And of course, Don Green, who leads the charge for marketing and sales for beauty supply stores nationwide, along with the very successful Mr. Rich Lou Dennis, who owns Essence and Essence Magazine and Shea Moisture, which was probably one of the biggest acquisitions in history. You know, that's Annie-Malone's story.
Wow.
So,
it is.
So by it being Annie-Malone's story, we called it Beauty Evolve because you saw Annie, then Madam C.J. Walker, and now Shea Moisture and what they're doing at the present. So I knew it was fitting that we would come here to St. Louis because it was so important that we made something right that was so wrong that Annie Malone's story would be told. And it was more than just a parade of 108 years, but it was how she empowered washerwomen to become self-owned businesses and could start to feel beautiful about themselves. It's
by
almost
actually controlling that, having the sense to control it, because without options, without the products, without the resources, they were at the disposal. I mean, think about how we first got our hair pressed with the lye and the harsh
and
chemicals.
all of the things that caused hair loss.
Right. It was cruel.
But in the readings, when you start to do the research, most black women during that time that were washerwomen, if they would watch television, there would be no impressions of women who look like them.
Absolutely. I love how a lot of this has to do with your creative vision. You are one of the most creative people to bring this all together. And
it has been difficult. I told them I was like a big baby the other night when I couldn't find the house key. And I was like, it's 1 o'clock at night, and I'm like, one of them Florida Evans moments. I'm just beating on the table like, Lord Jesus, who do I call? It is now 1 o'clock. I don't have no key, and I can't see out the back. I got food. We got to feed the homeless. We're doing all this stuff. I say, it only happens to Glenn Jackson.
Well, Glenn, to whom much is given, much is required. And you do this beyond the idea of show, because people need to also know that you have a nonprofit arm and the work that you do that touches the lives of children and families all over this world. So it is a commitment. And I would imagine that some of it's come from your travels in the Navy and the things that you've seen and experienced. But being somebody with a world vision, you know that not everybody's living on the same levels.
No.
And so it isn't about show. It's about how can I really make a difference?
How can we make a difference?
Come on now.
And, with my 501c3, and I know you want to start crying because this will be the third time today, I was really shocked when I created that, because I'm Glenn Jackson. I know everybody, but nobody helped me. And I was devastated. I was literally devastated because I've paved my life in giving back to other people so that they could see their own personal worth and contributions. And so when I decided to do the 501c3, it was really accidental, because I went to a foreign country and I was doing shows at that time for a client that was out of Miami called Beauty Schools of America. And I ran across these kids that were the poorest of the kids that I've ever seen, with no running water, no shoes, no clothes, just living in what I would call a shack. And I said, I want to do something for those kids. So I said I would do something for 25 kids, and 500 kids showed up. And I was literally devastated. I did not have enough money, supplies, resources, or anything to even be able to help. And I wanted to do something. So I started the 501c3. I do good stuff. You can go online and you can track and you can follow, but nothing happened. And out of desperation, I get a call from a client out of LA in Cerritos, California, and they said that they had been watching me for over 10 years.
Yes, sir.
And they wanted to give something back to the community, and they would give me whatever I asked for. And I was literally floored.
Get weary in your well-doing, my friend.
I was floored. Me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And so
you
they did.
You never know who's watching.
And I took 25% of my personal salary, and it was enough to power our 501c3. So even though people didn't do what I felt they should have done based on what I did for them, God found a way for me to continue to give and create this process.
Absolutely.
And it's so important because there's a lot of people like Glenn Jackson's that may not have a 501c3. But I've been giving my whole life. That's been my whole DNA to this business, is to empower African Americans to realize and understand that we are our own best benefit. When we come together, we are unstoppable. And so we have to learn how to funnel positive energy into the pot and take some of that energy of negativity that we sometimes become the center of who we are, and take that and funnel it into positive energy so we can get the best end result.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of positive, you've got the Hollywood event.
My God.
In hair coming to St. Louis.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's like the thing. I heard about you visiting some places in St. Louis and folks nearly falling out.
They did.
Glenn Jackson Hill.
Yeah, they fell
I think that
out.
is so
stretched
sweet.
out. And I always get funny when people do that, because they be like, I've been doing this so long. I've been walking in these shops for 25 years, and I tell people all the time, I love young people. I love their energy. I love what they represent. That's why people like Doris is my baby, because I see the potentials of what's there, and I just need to be there to push them along the way, you know? And so she came and paid me a visit in Houston, Texas, and I said, girl, well, how you got here? She said, on a megabus. I was like, I'd be scared to ride a megabus myself. And she done rode the megabus all the way from St. Louis to Houston to get advanced training to further her career. So to me, that was powerful.
It is.
So even if I didn't want to do this, because of people like her, I'm inspired to do it.
Absolutely. Well, then let's bring Doris into the conversation. Doris, did you really get on the megabus?
I really did get on the megabus to go to Houston. I work for Farouk Systems, so I go to my trainings and things like that. Just so happens I had just connected with Glenn. He called me out of nowhere one day and extended this awesome opportunity to me. And, you know, I had to be a part of that. The whole show, everything behind it is just amazing, and I'm just, you know, really floored by it. I'm flattered.
Well, you might be flattered, but look, young lady, you went the distance. You actually showed how much you were willing to put into what you truly cared about, what your passion was. So congratulations to you on being one of the great stylists.
Well, thank you
for this big show and representing St. Louis.
Oh yeah, you know I'm going to represent St. Louis the best that I can.
Sure.
Let them
tell us what you're going to do. I can't wait to hear. What is your specialty?
Well, my specialty is coloring, extensions, specifically frontals, sew-ins, and wigs and things like that. So definitely going to be bringing that to the table, but also natural hairstyles and natural hair care, because that's the foundation.
Sure.
So I will have a little bit of everything, just because I'm a well-rounded stylist. I deal with all hair types, and it's important for a woman to know, no matter what you got going on, you should embrace that. You should be okay with that. But at the same time, we could switch it up a bit and do something fun.
We like to do that, and it is fun. Now, Doris, you have a salon here, but what really sparked something for me is that you're so young. He's talking about when you got started, you were just 20, and you've been at this already 5 years at 25. Have your own salon, and you are doing this full out.
Yes,
Talk
definitely.
about what drives you today and how you keep pressing toward these higher goals and moving up to the next levels.
I just never want to be stagnant. I feel like there's always something I can learn, and always something that I can learn from someone else, so I can have something new to bring to the table. And I'm always willing to give any tidbits of advice to anyone else that I can, even though I'm, still new to this. Only been licensed for 5 years, but I feel that's important to keep that fire. And some people feel like they get burnt out, but I think that's only because they're just stuck in this one box. And I never want to place myself into a box.
That's it.
I always feel like there's something bigger and better out there. Yeah. So this opportunity for me is everything.
Yeah, it is. I think it'll be the springboard for many more terrific things that are ahead for you. What is your advice or encouragement to other stylists or people who have dreams and not sure how to pursue them?
Don't give
Get
up.
on a megabus.
Number one,
don't be afraid of the megabus.
Don't be afraid of the megabus. Don't ever think, I can't do that. It's starting off. You can't always be first class to going to these trainings. As long as you get there and get out of it what you need, then that's the great part about it. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. It gets hard, especially in the beginning, but I'm at the point where I'm starting to see everything come into fruition.
That's right.
And that's what I've been waiting on, and I'm ready for it. So.
I am so delighted to hear that. Well, I know you're part of the show, and we're going to have Glenn send out the official invitation, but please tell folks where they can find you and connect with you right here in St. Louis.
Well, I'm located downtown, right at 1708 Delmar, Suite 100. You can check me out on Instagram at HairFixSTL. That's 2 X's.
Oh, hi.
STL. And, I have great work on there, ready.
So we can see.
Yeah, everyone can see my skills, what I got going on, what I bring to the table. You can also check my work on StyleSeat. That's styleseat.com/hairfix.
Got it. With 2 X's.
With 2 X's. Don't forget that.
But what I want folks to definitely not forget about you, especially your name, Doris Swink. This is a young lady with determination and a real go-getter attitude, and definitely a heart to help and support other people. So
definitely.
That's memorable. Well, Glenn, you got to...
I'm getting teary-eyed here.
I mean, you hear it
really
firsthand.
About that because, people do a number on black women. They do a number. They try to make them seem like they're angry. They're not good enough. Their work don't set standards. And there are people like Doris, and they deserve a center stage to be shined and celebrated.
Yeah,
every African American woman don't need to be the best twerker in the world to say I have value. Right. Everybody can't be a Beyonce, in the game. But if you are a Beyonce in what you do, and you do it with an excellence,
I love that.
You are still soaring.
That's it. So let me start my beehive.
Yeah, so you still soaring, and so you can be empowered by the Annie-Malone story. Of course, the big parade, we're a part of that parade.
In a big way, yes.
I just am so thankful to iHeartRadio. My heart goes out to this amazing organization perceiving the value in this urban community in a way that is unprecedented. Our press junket that was here at iHeart was amazing, was life-changing. We'll be honoring the legendary Louise Holland. She is an icon in beauty, 50 years in the beauty industry. Wow. Isola Toy, Second Chance Academy. Isola Toy provides opportunity for women who are coming back to work, single moms. She gave out over 20 scholarships last year in 2017 to rebuild their lives. Ladies of Elegance, the four sisters, Sojourner and her amazing sisters, those ladies are epic. They've worked together as sisters for 16 years. Cheryl Jones, who is the powerhouse behind Girls Inc., 501c3, which sets the standards in nonprofits around the country. The amazing Sweetie Pie's restaurant, the best of the best. And I had some people like, well, my restaurant's the best of the best. Yes, but when you get to national television and you have millions of followers, you're going to be the best of the best on TV, like Miss Robin and like Miss Janice. Because a lot of times people think because you're on television, that means your life is perfect. In actuality, your life is far from perfect because your life is on display every single day for the world to pick it apart.
And they do. And I really applaud her for opening up and showing their vulnerability in not only entrepreneurship, but in her humanness, her family, and being a woman in this journey. And I most definitely applaud you for creating this platform. How wonderful and kind and gracious for you to uplift us like that.
Oh, my God, I feel a responsibility. I've done this business for a long time, and I've been saying I was going to retire. And then my mom passed, and me and my mom was like, tight. So there was a lot of regrets there. Not that I wasn't a good son, and not that I wasn't a great role model, but my time had been dedicated to this business for a long time. And I really didn't get a chance to see what my mom was going through on the daily, raising my brother who's handicapped and disabled for 41 years. Wow. And so I was at a fork in the road to either stay doing the shows or become his caregiver. And that has been my hardest job yet. Yeah. Because I just wasn't prepared. That's it. And so I tell people, I do this because if I didn't do this for young people, who would? That's right. We went to Grabber School today, and I would have not gone, realistically. But when I got there, there was some hesitation. But I realized in order for us to make race relationships better in this country, we've got to do a better job of opening the door so we can start intelligent conversation.
That is so true.
And so that's where, that's where I am. Yeah. I see that, the parade is making a lot of strides, and I want to bring the nation to St. Louis, and I know they will come based on me being here, but this is just a start thought process because you guys deserve it.
Absolutely.
Lessons learned, we have to learn to take down some of these barriers that block us from being successful. We have to stop creating this I'm a hater kind of environment and be more embracing of other people's success, because your success is my success. So when you walk through those doors tonight, when the doors open at 5:30 at the Majorette at 7150 Manchester, you should be inspired. If you have a small business and you're trying to get your business off the ground and you want to market and network, you've got to be willing to plant seeds into other people's business so your business can grow. And a lot of times we want our business to grow, but we don't know how to do nothing more than take from other people because we don't know how to give.
That's right.
See, my business is successful because I give to everybody who come along in my path, because I realize we all need to eat. And if you kind of get that concept, you'll be surprised at, at what you will find. Saturday night, which is hair art, that show is legendary because we are going to be profiling photographers who kind of captured Ferguson in its lowest hour. It's called Rise to Triumph.
Love that.
Through their photo exhibit, which will be at the House of Soul, which is owned by Nicole Stevenson, formerly of Soul Cafe.
That's it.
But the building, Tony's building, one of the only black-owned and operated businesses on Washington, is the power of who we are as a community.
And he shares that same commitment to giving back and building community. So much more than hair, but honey, hair is at the heart of this in a big and fantastic way. Make sure you join us Saturday for hair art at right there at
the House of Soul, 1204 Washington.
And then on Sunday, do not miss at the Majorette, 7150 Manchester, for the Golden Scissors Awards. Glenn Jackson, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
It's my great pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Success, my dear brother.
Yes, thank you for your humble blessings.
All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcasts at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. Just search iHeart Communities with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.